What is up, guys? Flippin' Steve. Thursday morning, heading to Atlantic City for my first day of the National. It's about 9:30 a.m. Going to take me 2 hours, give or take a little bit. Could be a little bit longer, a little bit less. Going to be in Atlantic City for the National. But first, I've got to head south before I head north to pick up one of my friends who you may have seen from the channel before, Cousin Jay, who's going to be doing me a favor and driving me to the show in my car and dropping me off. And then I'll be driving home with another friend. For those of you of the channel that didn't know, I don't necessarily like to drive long distances. I'm epileptic, in case you guys never knew that. I'm epileptic. I take medication for that. I'm allowed to drive, but I prefer to not to drive long distances. So that's the story behind that. A little bit of personal information on the channel. But we're going to go up here. We're going to get Cousin Jay, make a couple stops, hit the show. Maybe I'll film some footage along the way, keep you guys informed on what I'm doing, and just looking forward to having a good time, and maybe even getting him into the show for his first show ever, even if it's just for this afternoon before he heads back. We got Cousin Jay. We stopped by the Wawa. This video brought to you by Flippin' Steve and Red Bull, and I don't have to worry about backlash because this is not sports card related. Breakfast burrito.
Lazy ass Slim Jim.
All right, Cousin Jay show. Everybody had giant ass Slim Jim. How many bites is it gonna take you to eat that thing?
3.
3 bites. That should be a challenge. That should be a YouTube challenge. All right, so Cousin Jay has us listening to the Vanessa Carlton. But Cousin Jay's not into sports cards, so we're gonna get like someone who's not in the sports card world opinion on the players that you should be buying right now. So give me 2 players heading into the NFL season that you would recommend as someone who has nothing to do with sports cards to buy their cards at. Come on, I can guess one of them already.
I mean, of course, Josh Allen, but his shit's already expensive. So.
Oh, see, so he says, of course, Josh Allen, but he says Josh Allen shit is already expensive. So he already knows, as someone who's not even in the card market, that Josh Allen cards would be expensive and possibly overpriced. Okay, it took you a long time to get one, so let's talk about an NBA player. Who would be an NBA player? I know who your favorite team is.
NBA player, couldn't tell you.
He couldn't tell us. He is a Pelicans fan, so I'm surprised that he didn't say Zion. But, you know, Zion, the same case, where his stuff is going to be pricey for being somewhat unproven, you know, and injury prone. So,
Like
you know, it's going to be inflated, kind of like a Josh Allen in football. You don't do baseball. What about hockey? You're a Penguins fan, right?
I've never looked at hockey cards once.
Never looked at hockey cards. I don't know hockey
at.
cards. Anyway, it was worth a shot to try to get some non-expert advice. You get enough non-expert advice from me. Thought I could get one of my friends to give you some non-expert advice as well. So Cousin Jay went by the Atlantic City Expressway, so we're on the Jersey Turnpike here. We're going to get the PSA graded Jersey Turnpike ticket. We're headed to exit 3. $4.80 extra added to the national trip. But 14 minutes faster, he says. Just arrived here in the Showboat. That's where we're staying the first night. Got a stranger behind me here, but we're staying in the Showboat for Thursday night, and then tomorrow I'll be checking into my room in the Borgata over where Charles is at, the contest winner. So yeah, Cousin Jay just dropped me off. We had about $15 in tolls, and then they charged us 20 bucks to park here because Cousin Jay had to come in and take a shit. So because he had to take a shit, they charged him $20 to park, because he couldn't just drop me off out front. He told the guy, hey, I'm gonna be like 10 minutes. The guy's like, 20 bucks. So that's an expensive shit. But anyway, part of the adventure, part of the story. Now it's time to like get down to the show and actually start getting into the thick of things. Inside the National, I've done some walking around, met up with the Tampa guys, talked to Roth and Taxi, haven't run into Kenny. Talked to Bryant from Tampa. Got my first pickup of the day. A card I've never seen before, didn't even know where it came from, had to do a little research to figure it out, got a good deal on it. I'll show that to you guys when I recap my day one. You'll see my first pickup. I spent 200 bucks. So I'm 200 bucks in so far, and going to continue to browse the floor. Some really cool stuff in here that I'll run down and talk about as I take in more of the show. Walking around the show, as you can see, it's starting to die down in here, getting quiet. I actually have room to walk, room to move. Had my second pickup today. I'll recap that at the end of day one. Trade night is next. About to leave the show because I want to get in there in time to get a table at trade night. If you can't get a table and you got to walk around with your Pelican cases, it's a nightmare. So we'll see. Get over there and get a table nice and early and have some fun. I was walking around the show and I found some amazing stuff. Got some music stuff here. It's not cards, memorabilia, or it's more like memorabilia and stuff, but I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff that I'm looking at. An autographed guitar. Not sure who all is on that or on these Puma sneakers here. But I see that we got an autographed album of Kiss. Some photos up here. Jim Croce. Some cool stuff. Got a glare. Got some Elvis. Guitar, autographed Chronic album by Dr. Dre. That's Rush right there with Neil Peart, who's passed away. Some more stuff up here, Sonny and Cher. A little bit slower. It looks like a Marlon Brando right there. There's an Al Pacino. You guys know I'm a huge Al Pacino fan. Got some of the Whitesnake. People around me get me loud, so I'm going to go ahead and back out. With myself, Fuchs, Neo, Dustin, Filmington, trying to get into the card show, but they're almost at capacity. We're next in line to get in, as you can see here. But they're at capacity. It goes to show you how crowded the trade night is, so we'll see if we get in or not, and we'll go from there. Stacking gems.
I'm connected. I got connections.
All right, we'll see. We'll see how those connections work. 20 people left. We're in. 7 of us. That means there's 13 behind us getting in. Crazy. Inside the trade night, all the tables are taken up. You see people spread out on the floor, down here. First of all, I'm too old and achy to get down on the floor like that, and I don't want my cards spread out on the floor either. This doesn't seem to be set up as well as Chicago's was last year. Chicago's had a lot more, not space, but seemed more organized. There's more space in here, but less table space, I feel like. We'll see how it goes. May not even hang out here very long. So guys, waking up early, day 2 of the National. Woo, it's like 7:30. Just woke up, got to hop in the shower, start my day. I want to touch on trade night last night. We came back right from trade night to the Showboat Hotel, got some pizza on the boardwalk and came to bed. It was a long day. But trade night itself, like I said, in the footage, I don't believe it was as good as the Chicago trade night. And that might just be me. There's going to be people in the comments that said it was great. What are you talking about? Why, I'm not saying that it was bad. It just was very crowded. It didn't seem like there was many tables or much table space. Lots of people spread out on the floor. One thing that I didn't tend to like was you would see where one person would almost commandeer one table for themselves and almost set up their own little mini booth and have all their cards out. I mean, I actually have photos of where one person like set up and like just took up one entire half of a table, and you figure each table has about 6 to 8 chairs, but that was, 5 or so chairs plus that weren't being used and space that other people couldn't use because one person was taking up an entire table by themselves. Also taking the chairs, lining them up as if they were tables and everybody putting their cards in the chairs. So again, maybe that's something that in the future I would recommend, either more table space, more cards, or to say, hey, don't be greedy with space. If you're one person, take up the space in front of you, your little table space and your table, not the entire table for just yourself, because after all, you're not, a vendor. And that's what some of these people kind of looked like in there. Who am I to give advice to? Card collector too, but I'm just saying that would be something that I would think would be a little bit more, I don't know, good for others. I'm the type of person that likes to share, so I would never even in my mind think I'm gonna sit down and take up this whole table. But that was some people's mindset, Again, I do have footage of that for those who said, no, that wasn't happening. But yeah, just one thing from trade night that was kind of a bit of a takeaway was that some people just kind of really commandeered a lot of the space for themselves and almost set up as vendors, leaving other people, nowhere to sit, putting their cards on the floor and things of that matter. Other than that, wasn't a bad trade night. I made some sales, bought a couple cards. In fact, we're going to go ahead and take a look at my pickups from day one. What I'm going to do, guys, is kind of put out these videos with some random footage from each day at the National, at the show, just throughout the day, things that I'm doing. Not really going to put out, vlog style stuff. That's not what I do. And then I'll do a complete wrap up of my experience and everything that I see here at the National once I get home, so I can give you a detailed rundown of everything that was going on and happening, and my observations and perception of things. I'm going to wrap this one up with my pickups from day one. I grabbed this Kelly Slater Sports Illustrated for Kids, graded in a BGS 6.5. These are super tough to grade. I've been sending these in myself to SGC, and they always come back graded authentic. So just wanted to get one with an actual number grade on it to put with my Tony Hawk. Again, another card for my PC. And what you're going to notice here for day one, the theme, is that I really didn't buy any sports cards. I mean, I guess you can say surfing is a sport. However, I'm buying the stuff for my PC that that I love, the oddball stuff that I really don't see anywhere else. So I'm going to, buy it while I have the chance. These were acquired at trade night, all off of the same gentleman, Big Smooth, 24, I believe. You can follow him on Instagram. Had a lot of pop culture. I would say pop culture, Hollywood, rock and roll type stuff. Picked up 3 items off of him for a great deal. This is a 1993 Eclipse Loaded Weapon 1, which is a movie, but Samuel L. Jackson in an SGC 9. My first Samuel L. Jackson card. Super sweet, kind of a rookie card of him. He has multiple cards in this set, but this is the one that actually has him as Samuel L. Jackson and not as his character name. And it is the portrait photo. There is a card earlier in the set of him, but not a portrait photo, and has him as his character name. Next up was a big slab, SGC slab. This is a 1988 Panini Smash Hits in an SGC 7 of Bruce Willis, as you can see here. And when I do my final recap of the National, I will show these from the other side of the camera so you get less glare and all that. That video will be a little bit longer, trying to keep these short and sweet for you guys. And then, you guys know I love the music stuff, and I have almost this complete set, but I have none of them graded. This is a 1985 711 Slurpee disc of Journey. As you can see, Steve Perry's big old nugget right there. And then you flip it a little bit, and you got the whole band. Journey, it's one of those lenticular cards, lenticular disc in an SGC 9. Super cool to have that in a slab. And my first pickup of the day at the National show was a card that I had never seen either. Not necessarily a card for myself. I will probably try to move this one because I believe that there are people out there who really like this guy. I don't know if it's necessarily my cup of tea. I just don't know much about him, but I do know his name, especially within the hobby, as he is actually someone who has bought a bunch of Marvel cards off of me. And that is a Steve Aoki Topps card with an autograph on it and a piece of what it says, event worn jeans, pink and black jeans, I guess. And with the autograph, it is numbered out of 77. It's kind of blurry here. Got some of my reflection in it. But it's a cool looking card. I got it for a good price. And I believe I'll be able to find a Steve Aoki fan out there that I'll be able to move for that. And probably, for what I got it for, probably end up getting like a 30% gain. Did well selling at the trade night, like I said. Got a couple cool cards for the PC. About to start day 2 here in maybe an hour or so. Going to hop in the shower, breakfast, lunch, transfer hotels, get the ball rolling on the day, and see what day 2 can bring. And you guys stay tuned if you're interested in my day 2. I will shoot some more footage raw like this and put it together, slap it together, like I always do. You guys, on your way out, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, and come back for day 2. And when I wrap it all up at the end, see you guys next time.